Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to the first video of 2023. I hope you all had a relaxing New Year's break wherever you may be in the world. And like every year, we're going to kick things off with a bit of fun, a sort of rundown of what's on schedule for this first half of the year, and then, of course, do a little speculating on what Tamashii and Bandai might bring us for the second half of 2023. Yes, Tamashii Nations have already mapped out a roster of releases for every month up until June this year, and starting off with Dragon Ball Super Superhero, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 coming out at the end of this month. Both figures being Bandai Premium web exclusives, and both coming out with Ultimate Gohan Build-A-Figure parts. That's probably the biggest complaint collectors have about these two controversial releases. Fans want the Ultimate Gohan parts, but don't care too much about the figures themselves. I personally enjoyed Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 in the movie. They had kind of a silly, old school Dragon Ball sort of charm to them, and though I would be lying if I said that these two were must-buys, they do look like a lot of fun, and I've always been a fan of the Red Ribbon Army, so it'll be nice to have a couple of figures that kind of tie in with that part of Dragon Ball. For February, it's another premium Bandai web exclusive, and it's one I've been waiting for forever since we got the Figuarts Final Form Cooler. Many of you might already know this, but I was introduced to Dragon Ball through the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies, in particular Cooler's Revenge, so the movie villains, though not canon, will always have a nostalgic kind of special place in my childhood heart. I still have all of my old VHS tapes of all the movies, Lord Slug, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, and one of my favorites, the Tree of Might, which introduced the original Goku Black Turles. This one is high up, being one of the most, if not the most, anticipated figures for me this year, and judging by the pictures alone, I think it'll be pretty hard to beat and comes with everything I could have hoped for in a Turles release, from a buttload of accessories including some beautiful facial expressions, a ton of hands, a cape, the Tree of Might fruit, and even comes with an energy effect. I am super hyped for this figure, and luckily February is just around the corner. So it looks like Tamashii will be taking a break for the month of March, and so will my wallet, which is actually a good thing because there are a ton of other releases from other lines coming in that month. The two Figuarts No Way Home Spider-Man releases, just to name a couple, and I think it's just nice to take a breather. I think it's a month where Tamashii just kind of steps back, recalibrates, so to speak, and gets ready for the upcoming fiscal year here in Japan. Because the month of April will be absolutely loaded with probably some of this year's best releases from not just the Dragon Ball line or the S.H.Figuarts line, but any action figure line for that matter. We have three releases from Tamashii for April, and all of them, some more than others, I am super excited about. We have the re-release of what in my opinion is still a pretty solid figure even after all of these years, and it's one that I think a lot of new collectors missed out on and frankly needed a re-release due to its hefty aftermarket price. But Tamashii have given us a second chance at Super Saiyan Vegeta 2.0 with a new lick of paint and some updated printing for the facial expressions. We even get a new faceplate of Vegeta looking down, which is a nice little bonus, and I know for some collectors this might not be the most exciting release, but it's one I'm definitely looking forward to, even though I have the original. Next, we have my favorite form of Frieza. Yes, that's right, second form Frieza is one of Premium Bandai's web exclusives, and like Imperfect Cell, it is refreshing to see other forms of our favorite villains come to fruition. First form Frieza was an amazing figure, so I have faith that Tamashii will kill it with this release as well. This figure looks absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to add him to my Namek Saga collection, which looks incredible now thanks to the second wave of Namek Saga figures. And to round things off, we even got a Purunga at the end of last year. Still need to finish that review. Moving on, this was actually one of my predictions for last year, and I guess it still counts since Tamashii did reveal in 2022. I guess you can say this video sort of crosses over 2 years from the initial tease to the actual release of the figure. But boy did Tamashii go all out with this one. They exceeded all of my expectations and then some, but the first time I saw promos of this figure, I just fell in love with it. Vegeta and Trunks are my two all-time favorite characters in Dragon Ball, and it brings a manly tear to my eye just seeing how perfect this figure came out. Well, almost perfect. If they made the connection from the leg to the crotch just a little bit more seamless, this would have been perfection in plastic. I'd hate to see a repeat of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, which definitely doesn't make the figure bad in any way. but I think little details like that will just elevate the figure to a whole nother level. I said Turles was one of my most anticipated figures of the year. This would be the other, and I've mentioned this before, but I know Future Trunks will be a high contender for figure of the year in 2023. Going back to Dragon Ball Super, Superhero and its pan coming in the month of May. Again, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. It's a character that might not be high on many collectors' want lists, but I'm still happy to see the line go beyond the usual suspects and give us a variety of characters in all different shapes and sizes. It's a great world building figure, and it's another release that comes with more Ultimate Gohan Build-A-Figure parts, and this one I definitely need because we don't usually get happy smiling facial expressions with our Dragon Ball figures, and I really do need this one for Gohan. For May, we get 2 re-releases. It's a Goku double whammy with Saiyan raised on Earth Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Goku from the Broly movie. So if you need to restock on your 2.0 Gokus, the month of May is the time to do it. Which leads us to our final official solicitation, and I say official because there are still a lot of other figures Tamashii have revealed but have yet to give us an official release date or prices on. But for June, it's base Form Broly from the superhero movie, and while it's definitely a welcome addition to the collection, I think the body choice is all wrong. Base Form Broly I feel is just a little bit too big. Although they did give us a new upper torso, I think Broly would have benefited from new legs as well. Still, I'm always happy to fill out my Dragon Ball Super display, and this will be the final version of Broly we need to complete all the versions from Superhero. Broly will also come with a windswept hairpiece for Build-A-Figure Ultimate Gohan. And now we get to the speculating part of the video, and to be honest, there are probably enough reveals out there to complete a second half year roster. For the superhero line, we have Cheelai and Lemo, which I'm guessing Tamashii will release together in the same month. Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan, 2 very highly anticipated figures for a lot of collectors, including myself. Again, probably back-to-back releases. Now moving away from superhero and going back to Dragon Ball Z, or more specifically the Android Saga Cell Saga, Tamashii have teased and shown us on multiple occasions Androids 19 and 20, which again I think will be a double release in the same month. So that's 6 figures for 3 months, which brings us to October. Tamashii also snuck in a quick little tease of Mecha Frieza, which I think if they don't release this year, will get an official release early next year, say January or February 2024. But for the remaining slots, I think 2023 or the second half of 2023 will be Androids and Cell Saga themed. Speaking of Frieza, it looks like Tamashii aren't quite done with the Namek Frieza saga just as yet. It looks like we'll be getting all forms, not just second form, but third form as well, and this figure looks absolutely amazing. It's another form of Frieza that a lot of collectors, including myself, have wanted for a very long time. Again, like the other reveals, just a couple of photos and a dedicated page which you can find on DragonBall.com, the official website, but no official release date as of yet. But if and when it'll be released, I'm assuming it'll be the end of this year or the first half of next year. And now that 2 of the 3 forms of Cell are already done, we may possibly get a reveal of a semi-imperfect Cell, which I'm hoping if that does come to fruition will be significantly bigger than our Z Fighters. I'm talking final form cooler big. Pack him in with an absorbing tail and a facial expression for this iconic beatdown, and I think you'll have a winning release. Sticking with the Cell Saga, and this is one that I threw in for last year's predictions, but instead we got Porunga this year. But I think there is a high possibility that the next large ticket item from Tamashii will be a vehicle with lights and sounds in the form of Future Trunks' Hope Time Machine. Tamashii gave us a Bulma bike. They tested the waters with the light and sounds gimmick with Porunga. So what better item to pair up with the new upcoming Future Trunks than with his very own time machine that he can sit in and display together. I'm sure it'll cost up $300 just like Porunga, but it'll be one that definitely completes a Cell Saga line of figures. Throw in some die-cast parts, some audio clips of Trunks, and some light-up features, and I think you'll have another impressive display piece. Another easy figure Tamashii could give us as a kind of supplement figure for a month that already has a release would be Cell Saga Yamcha. Again, it's a figure that's been shown on multiple occasions in multiple events, physical and online, but I think it'll be a quick and easy release for Tamashii since they already have a base body give Yamcha a new head sculpt, and this time, instead of packing him in with a couple of Cybermen like they did with the Saiyan Saga Yamcha, give us some little Cell Juniors, at least 2, with a bit of articulation. Now it looks like Tamashii are moving forward with the GT line at snail's pace, but I think we will see another GT release for 2023. I know a lot of you want Baby Vegeta and Omega Shenron, but my money is on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta with fusion hands for both Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta as bonus accessories. It'll be an all-new sculpt top to bottom, and from what we can gather from the other Super Saiyan 4 releases, will be beefier than the Super Saiyan Blue version, a new 3.0 body and articulation with a final Kamehameha effect to complete the release. This one, like Goku and Vegeta, will be an event release, and what I mean by that is that Tamashii will go all out with this figure, with their marketing, a full in-depth breakdown of the figure, showcasing all the engineering and new sculpt work. I'd love to see a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, so if you're watching this, Tamashii, bring it on, I'm ready. So the last 2 predictions I have for 2023, moving on to the first half of 2024, will be from the Buu Saga. Something tells me that after Tamashii are done with the first wave of the Android Cell Saga releases, we'll start to see a few figures from the Buu Saga trickle over. Tamashii are quick to act third-party companies, and with Kong Studios' announcement of a new Super Saiyan 3 Goku based on the new 3.0 body, I think Tamashii are working on, or if not have already prepared, a counter for that figure with their own 3.0 Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We'll get bigger, more articulated hair based on what they've been doing on the Super Saiyan 4 releases, as well as a new updated facial expressions on the all-new 3.0 base body. And to accompany Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I think we will finally get to see Kid Buu, a character, a figure that we all need for a Buu Saga display, and since it'll be a smaller figure, I think will come with a ton of accessories, including some pretty impressive energy effects, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. But we're not done yet. I think Tamashii will also sneak in a few, lottery releases, as well as some game event figures in the form of Super Saiyan 2. Slight color variation with no aura effect. I think we might even get a regular release of this figure, again without the aura effect, recolored slightly and packaged as a basics figure, just like what they did with Rose a couple of years back. I say this because, and again, it goes back to third-party companies, in particular Demoniacal Fit, releasing their own version or copying and reselling the original release of this figure. Hey, but if it means us collectors get more of a chance to own this awesome version of Goku, I say it's a win. Just a prediction, but one I hope does actually happen. As for Imagination Works and Figuarts, I think Piccolo will follow last year's Luffy release. Tamashii are dabbing more and more into soft goods, so I think Imagination Works Piccolo with a cloth cape would work perfect as their next release. Figuarts have already announced that they will continue updating their line with new versions and hopefully new characters from the Dragon Ball series. It's a no-brainer, but Vegeta is definitely going to be their next kit in line this year, followed by Trunks or a Cell Saga Gohan. Goku 2.0 was a phenomenal kit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do with the other characters going forward. And that's it, guys, my predictions for 2023 / beginning of 2024. Just a bit of fun, nothing to be taken too seriously. Something that I do every year, which kind of gets things going. I just love sitting down and reflecting on all the amazing releases we've gotten so far, see what other characters that can complement those we've already have, and try to make some sense of what Tamashii's release schedule might be for the future. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, let me know what your predictions or hopes are for this year and next. Also, let me know if you like these kinds of videos and if you'd like to see me make more of them for other lines like Mafex or whatever else you guys collect. Don't forget to leave a like, as that really helps out the video, or so I'm told. I'll be back with my Purunga review, as well as a general top 10 figures of 2022 very soon, so do look out for those as well. Take good care of yourselves. I know a lot of you, including myself, are back to work, so keep healthy, be good to your mums, and as always, yoroshiku!